Hey everyone, I just wanted to share with you how my tower garden is doing. I know I've shared up to, like 6 weeks and how my tower was producing so far. It was beautiful. I was harvesting. So this is about a month later. And I'm going to show you what my mature tower garden looks like and maybe some of the other maintenance stuff that you need to do on a more mature tower. So we know the basic maintenance of a tower as it's going is number one, making sure there's water in it, making sure you're testing your pH, making sure the right nutrient balance solution is in there, and then just basically looking at your tower on a very regular basis, like daily, making sure that your pump is working on the right schedule. I've had mine come unplugged before and came down and saw wilty leaves and thought, oh my gosh, what's going on? And realized that my pump had, my timer had gotten unplugged or knocked or turned off or something. So I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna show you my tower, and then we'll talk about some of the things that go on in a more mature tower. All right, here we go. Okay, so as you can see, it is really nice and full. It's looking good. We're harvesting off of it almost every day, especially the kale we put in our smoothies and the spinach. And some of the other plants, we don't necessarily harvest off every day, but it is definitely more mature. And okay, so some of the things that start to happen with the more mature plant, like I've got my arugula here, it is starting to go to seed. So what happens when a plant goes to seed is it's taking all of its energy to try to produce for a future generation, right? So it's going to seed, and that means that the rest of the plant is not going to be getting as much nutrition. So what you can do is just harvest the whole plant and restart, and we know that it only takes a few weeks to get another plant going and that we're harvesting off of it. What's nice is to be able to have a constant rotation on that so that you are constantly having more mature plants to harvest off of. But I planted my whole entire tower at the same time, so I'm running into everything getting mature all at once. So one idea would be to stagger your planting, even if you're getting a brand new tower. Plant the majority of it, but then save, 5 or 6 spots for, and plant new seedlings, 2 weeks later. That way you're constantly having more mature plants. So what you can do for your arugula to stave it off, take off what is, going to seed, the blooms, and that'll help keep it from, it will keep it producing quicker for a little bit longer if you want to keep that plant. So it's still doing pretty good. So I don't know if I want to quite harvest it yet, but that will be probably coming soon that I'll need to do that. And then my Hongvit is doing the same thing. And so this plant is showing evidence that it is sucking a lot of energy off of the leaves to produce these, these blooms, because my leaves are getting a little yellowed and they're just not staying quite as healthy. So that plant just needs to be pulled, and I will replant something else there. Okay, one other thing, like when you have your lettuce plants, so this lettuce is really beautiful. It still tastes really good. It's not affecting the flavor, but it's starting to bolt a little bit. Whenever the stem starts getting really long and the leaves spaced out a lot, that means it's bolting, and it's trying to do the same thing. So one way to help that is to keep it harvested back a little bit and just harvest off of it more frequently. I just harvested 3 full mature plants 2 days ago. We had a beautiful salad for supper and then some left over. But what will happen is when you have this big clump of greens here, it's not getting a lot of air, and so you tend to get a little, leaf death in there mixed in. And so, keeping your more mature plants either harvested off of frequently or just harvesting the whole plant and starting new ones. And so I've got A little container here, super easy, just keep water in it and your seedlings, your seeds and your versimilite on top of there, and I'll have new seedlings coming up within a few days and I can plop them into my empty spots. So that's what I have for you today, and please feel free to message me if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to guide you on your journey to indoor gardening in January.